No. All right. Hold on.
Hey guys, my name is Garrett Gunn, and you probably don't know me from books like Good Boy, Little Red Ronin, Warcorns, and a bunch of other stupid things. And you are on Splash Pages.
Of course, is the one obvious thing.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. You are watching Splash Pages. My name is Leon, the monkey behind the keyboard here. We have a great show scheduled for you as always. And with us, we have Carrie. How's it going?
Going good, everybody. Hello, happy Tuesday. We have a very happy Ratatosker. He found a new beverage. He's got some new moonshine. Comes in a nice little bottle.
Oh God.
Old Smoky Moonshine. So I got drunk the other night. It's his turn to get drunk tonight because I have to pay attention because we have a really exciting guest on that I really want to talk to and talk about. So let's see how Jar Jar is doing.
Yeah, is Jar Jar here?
Oh, wait. Maybe not. Actually, let's go see how Drew's doing.
Drew.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I wasn't frozen. I just wanted to have that stunned. I was trying to recreate Garrett's face. It's very difficult. Oh, right. Sorry, everybody. Hi, it's Tuesday. It's Splash Pages. You had nothing better to do, and we're really glad you decided to give us an option because there's so many other things that probably cost money. For now. But so yes, it's Tuesday. We have a great guest who's coming back because he actually liked us enough the first time that he agreed that he'd come back for round two. He is a creator that we're all huge fans of now. His stuff is the kind of thing that you definitely would see more on the big screen, whether it's the movie theater or your computer. The creator, co-creator, writer of Good Boy, ECPD, I Hate You, Please Die, Warcorns, everything. The good-humored, bearded, can't believe he's back again, Mr. Garrett Gunn, everybody.
What's up? What's going on?
Garrett, right.
How's it going, guys?
Good. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Indeed. So, as we were saying before the show, I know that one of your most recent shows, you went to C2E2.
Yes, I did.
And you were just saying how it's a blast, but you said you feel you have more fun at C2E2 when you don't have a table.
Yeah. So I'm a poor planner.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget to apply to go to shows.
Okay.
And then when it's like, hey guys, it's a month and a half till C2E2, aren't you excited to go? And I'm like, oh shit, I don't have a table. So then I find somebody to like put up with me for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so, it's so much nicer to just like show up and hang out with people and do like events and then be like, I've had enough of people. I'm going to go back to the bar.
Right.
It's way more like, I feel like when I'm stuck behind a table and I'm like forced to like sit there and be like, wait for people to pass by, it like drains my energy. And then I'm not as like, as interactive with people,
Right.
or like enthusiastic. So like showing up, like it's the same way I am in fitness. Like I'm like a dwarf, good for short bursts of like high intensity and then not endurance. So, you know, I think that fits me better.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I'm of the short burst now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm great, and then we're gonna nap now. We're gonna take a nap. We're gonna take a siesta, and then we're gonna come back 120%. But right now,
I did think that was a good. I was like, man, I contemplated that at the last show I did at MegaCon. When I had a table, I was like, you know, maybe I'll just like take naps under the table, put a little sign up that's like back for a signing at whatever, take a nap, pop up, do a signing, go back to sleep. Back and forth.
You should do that, but at the same time, God forbid someone looks under the table and just sees sleeping creative. That's where they come to the end of the con.
Yeah.
So
I do have to just real quick. Sorry, I do have to say, you know, that's one of the perks of getting older. Like that is a you know, that's a bonus. Like you can work in a nap for a day. You've had a good day.
Dude, listen, if the Army taught me anything, like I can sleep anywhere at any time. Like I could just like the drop of a dime can go to sleep. So I squeeze them in whenever I can. Anytime.
And if you want to pop by Terrificon, you can come hang out with us and you can, Rad Hosker will go to the bar with you. You can go and just sit with him and like, he'll have a couple drinks with you.
The thing, it was like squirrel wrangler. I didn't know that was literal.
Like it's from, we squirrel off on topics, and so I pop up and I'm like, we're getting away here. But sometimes he just gets drunk.
Guys' system of stay on task and don't.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say the joke is that we're all nuts, so naturally a squirrel would show up.
Oh,
but thank you. Well, you know, I'm not as punny as you, sir. But I think also on top of it, we've seen the squirrel who, at this point, I think Carrie is the only one who ever says his name right. Because every show, we say it, and she's like, okay, no, it's this. Like, I know I've told you before, like, for the love of God, you can say all these creators perfectly. You can't get a Norse squirrel name right. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
It's okay.
None of them get it right.
Brains are hard.
So speaking of things not getting right, one of the things I use AI to help me prep for the show, to do research and to build everything together. And you're going to get a kick out of this.
My God.
It was mostly good for you, Garrett, but your ECPD, ChatGPT thought it was Emergency Cat Police Department.
I mean, I don't hate it.
Yeah, right?
Emergency Cat Police Department.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I fuck with emergency cats. That sounds dope.
Yeah, you never know. Listen, there's nothing wrong with an emergency kitten. Every once in a while, it saves your life and it's adorable. Boom, done.
Yeah.
You know?
Piper.
Yeah. It works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Call her in when shit gets too hot.
So there was one thing I definitely wanted to bring up. This is kind of one of my questions, is that in one of the books that I know you're working on, I think it's on issue 2, the very unexpectedly dark and amazingly serious I Hate You, Please Die.
Yeah.
The fact that you not only make a 40-year-old virgin reference, but you reference that in the thing was just an ice in the cake, because I was like, oh my God, I know that scene. I know that movie.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite, like, it's such a like off the cuff like scene. Like it's not like, it's just so random. And like it's such a weird like cameo by Kevin Hart. And like just the whole thing just feels like it's a miniature movie inside the movie. And you're like, what the fuck is going on with these two? Right. But that line that he says, like, I don't know what any of those words mean, so I'm gonna take them as disrespect. Like that's one of the funniest. Yeah, it's just one of my favorite lines in a movie. So seemed perfect for the bully to, be as
Yeah,
equally.
I definitely caught myself saying that once or twice. Like, especially if I feel like when Leo's talking some technical jargon, I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
saying a lot of words.
Yeah.
I don't know what they mean, but I'm going to insinuate
Yeah.
that you think I'm stupid. So watch your mouth and press the damn button.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
he's the nicest person in the world, so he doesn't take offense to it. But, but then he'll put like a fake snake somewhere in my hotel room.
That's
Is that right, Leo?
Yep.
Leo's like, no, I don't. Yeah.
Do you want to?
Nothing like that end of the con night. Like, I'm just gonna go to bed, and you just feel a fake copperhead snake in your bed. I'm like, I'm gonna kill him.
We wouldn't be friends anymore.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna kill him.
Like, you're in my neck of the woods, so it could not be a fake one. So. Yeah,
well, the thing being is, what I don't like is I feel like I have that moment like Gina Davis in Beetlejuice when she's eyeing Lydia's stepmom, like, I'm gonna get her. Like that, when you do that to me, I'm like, I'm gonna get him. I swear to God, I'm gonna tie his shoes together. Just something like simple, that not too destructive, because I don't want to hurt you, buddy, but I want to make you suffer a little. Like,
I want to hurt you. I just want to make you suffer.
Yeah.
Well,
but I love that.
To make you suffer, I have an update to the snake story, which I'll tell later. I won't go into it now. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I also want to say, just as in terms of a thing, is I'm so glad you're continuing with more good boy stories, because I kind of like the way you ended volume 3 definitely suggested there was more, but I like this prequel story because, we've seen so much of Flint, but now we're seeing a different side. We're seeing Flint when he was a duo. So he was with, and
it's a very different dynamic, like his personality, like, pre John's death, like he was a lot funnier, a lot more like of a like trickster and like humor and like a lot more alive. And so that was one of the important things I felt like, when Christy and I discussed doing this prequel, we were like, it's both extremely sad and awesome to tell the story, because we get a glimpse of like pre-trauma Flint. And kind of this amazing relationship that him and John had, and how badass they were together, which you'll see, in the coming issues. But it's also just so disheartening, like, to see what he became after losing that. So it's wild. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, volume 4 is so sick. It's crazy. Jesus.
Gary?
Oh, I was going to say, so after we have the prequel, are we then going to find out more?
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay.
We've got through 6 volumes written. So we've got after this one, then we cut back to the end of volume 3, and volumes 5 and 6 are a continuation of volume 3. So.
Okay. And then Kickstarter for the Bad Girl.
Yep. Bad Girl's in volume. So Bad Girl shows back up at the end of volume 5, and she's mostly she's the antagonist of all of volume 6, essentially.
Oh, cool.
So there's a lot more coming. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. We get the thing I want to always do, Christy does too, the thing we always want to do with Good Boy is like we always want to do something crazy in the next thing. And like they're superheroes in volume 5. Like and it's like so crazy and out there and wild. And my favorite part of it is that like when we tell people that, they're like, really, superheroes? And I'm like, in a world where dogs are mercenaries? Like, yeah. Like, sure, like it doesn't seem that far-fetched. But it's the way we did it, it's far-fetched, see? So like, but the way I think we did it, it's gonna be really fun and just wacky as fuck.
Yeah. So I had a question, because we've read a lot of your stuff, and we're noticing more often the idea of a shared universe. So
Yep.
are all of your stories within the same universe? Is like, for instance, like Mark Miller, he did, he's been writing his stuff for ages, and he finally had Big Game, which was like his Mondo crossover where everybody kind of met. Are your stories in the same universe? Like, is there ever a chance that they'd all cross over? Or
there's a, we call it the Absurdiverse. It's like our world that all this dumb shit lives in. So far we've got in the same world we have Good Boy, Swagjackers, which was an ash can and then is going to become that's going to be a part of volume 5 of Good Boy. Bad Girl, Cold Dead Hands. Like, no one. So we did a thing called the Fiend Yearbook at the end of 2022, and it was like we took all the ash cans we had done and we compiled them into a hardcover. So it was like, hey, if you wanted to check out like a bunch of different stories we do, you could get this yearbook, and it had all these things. And in the front of the book, there's like a class photo of 2022, and people don't really. We put Easter eggs in there knowing people wouldn't pay attention, just in the off chance that like somebody did. One person has brought the like big Easter egg to our attention. What?
Carrie would be the one who would notice.
Yeah. So there is some not direct links, but there is some implied links to even like I Hate You, Please Die in Good Boy. Tons of different stuff. So there is a shared universe. For now, it mostly surrounds the Good Boy stuff, but there is plans to make it bigger. It's ever growing. It's also just like a matter of convenience. If I see a thing that like makes sense, and I'm like, I'll just whatever. We'll just tie that in to this. Right. But yeah, just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. So.
Well, okay, cool. No, I mean, listen, we're all for it because crossover events when they're done well are always great, and with your work, it's always fun, and that's I think the thing that I can't speak for Leo and Carrie. They have their own voices, and last I checked, they're not ventriloquist dolls. Your stuff always has a really good sense of humor, which I think is really nice to juxtapose the very serious themes you juggle.
Yeah.
Come on, we're talking about it. I Hate You, Please Die is very dark.
Yeah.
That's
why I made sure to put some little disclaimers in the beginning, like there's some nice little, I Hate You, Please Die is not by a long shot my most successful thing, but it is the thing I'm most proud of. It is the thing that is most personal to me because it shares a large portion of my actual childhood in this story. Right. So like it is the thing that is very near and dear to me. And, I didn't try to pull any punches with any of the content. In fact, I made I think I say I pitched it to Image and I pitched to Image and Boom passed on it because they said it was too dark. And I told them, I'm like, listen, you should have seen the first draft of this motherfucker. Like when I wrote the first part, there was no supernatural element, no devil, no anything. It was just a drama. And it was really fucked up. And somebody told me, they were like, listen, this is a great story, but you got to add some fucking humor or some crazy mystery or some shit into this. Cause oh my God, man, this is rough. So we did a second pass and that's how it kind of became what it is. But I love this book so much. It is so great. And my artist, Malia Ewert, I love her to pieces. She is one of the most talented illustrators and partners in creating that I've ever worked with. I just adore her. It's so good. It's so stupid, dude. So dumb.
Yeah.
I totally have to applaud you for this because I absolutely love this. And reading in the beginning that, you suffered with bullies as well, which I'm assuming a lot of us have, it's matter of fact, my mom's in the hospital right now and I went to go see her and like she brought up like one of the things that one of the bullies did to me as a kid. Like they hit me in the back with a 2x4, and it was like, you know, it was
Fuck, man,
people can be, yeah, people can be cruel. It's
Yeah. Yeah, it's really shitty, man. And like you never, it stays with you forever.
Yep.
And like the thing, you know, the thing about this story was that like, you know, I don't want to give too much of the story away, but like it's the idea that like we do such awful things to each other, and it's very easy to pass off this like torch of like a terrible nature to the people that you're doing this to, like that oftentimes those that are bullied bully. And like this weird cyclical like torturous, you know, idea that you're like creating a machine that churns out bullies. And so like the whole story behind, you know, Gabe is that he's getting all of our ultimate revenge, everything we all wanted when we were bullied, like the ability to kill and fucking destroy the lives of the people that made our lives miserable. And in turn kind of loses a grasp on himself and like the goodness in him because he's so determined to like pay it forward essentially. So it's fucked up and it's dark, and like even if no publisher ever wants a piece of it, I will make this book till the day I die, because everybody that reads it, when I get responses from companies, it's always like, oh God, I don't know. Every person that I know that's read it has come back and been like, this is great. Like, I love this story so much. That means a lot to me. So,
I mean, listen, your boy's picking up where Carrie left off. So, you know, and
true. Yeah.
So, I mean, I remember, I remember it was a review somebody did of Carrie, the movie. And I would think it was every kid who ever got bullied's dream and every bully's nightmare.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is literally the best one sentence description of Stephen King Carrie ever.
Yeah.
Like, perfect.
It's so true.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, the third issue comes out next month. So
nice.
We're definitely going to keep an eye out for it. But
we're releasing a trade of the first 3 too.
Sweet.
I know. Sorry. What was that, Carrie?
I said he needs to give us links for those when they come up so we can get them.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And I know Carrie had a question, but just real quick, actually, this page right here with, you know, the teacher that, you know, is looking out for the kid and you know, tries to help him out. You know, it's I'm assuming, you know, all of us that have been bullied, we had a teacher like that. I'm assuming you did as well.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of them. You know, more so in middle school than high school. I did have one. You know, most of the awful shit I went through with bullies was like my freshman and into sophomore year of high school. And like there was one teacher in my high school that was like kind of indifferent, was just like, yeah, I get it, like you can hang out in here, like it's fine. Like it's not like, it seemed like it wasn't the first kid that was like, hey, I'm trying to dodge these motherfuckers, like can I just stay in here and eat my lunch please? Like you know, so it was good. It was nice. It was a nice safe haven. So yeah.
Awesome.
All right, Carrie, you had something?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna talk about, Lee, if you don't mind, I'm gonna pop up the Emerald City Police Department here real quick.
She's a big Oz fan.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
Shit.
I'm a huge fan of Oz, and so having this pop up, I was like, okay, this is just super cool. And I love the way you did everything with the coloring, and such, so that there's only green and red, like
Yep.
Oz and the ruby slippers, or
Yep.
sneakers, as we see in this case,
Yep.
are the only things that show up. But you must be a really big fan of the Wizard of Oz as well, because you got all the lore right. I mean,
Yeah.
you got the right
So
names for everybody.
yeah, so I'm not the biggest Wizard of Oz fan, but I am a huge fan of obsessive nature when it comes to like researching things. So when I was in the military, I was an intel analyst, and my entire job was like analyzing patterns and data to like create like dossiers on people and shit. And so I bring that into like my writing and like my creating stuff. And so when I decide to write a book, and especially something like ECPD that I'm like so fascinated by, I get really deep into it. Like I think I have like 3 notebooks in here of notes of things from the lore and like drawn out maps. I've printed out maps of like from all the old books. I like went into Barnes and Noble and pulled every different version of the books and like took pictures because I didn't want to buy like fucking 10 different books.
Right.
But I'm really into it. The funny thing about the art you showed though is we had to destroy those. So the physical copies of that one that we did had to be destroyed. Because it came to our attention after the fact. One of the things I missed is that while The Wizard of Oz is public domain, the MGM rights of the movie are not. And the ruby slippers were created for the movie. So we couldn't have her have red shoes because it would be an infringement on the copyright of the MGM license.
Yeah.
So because they were silver in the
silver.
original. Yep. So it was the thing I missed in my mind. I'm like, that's dope. We'll give her red fucking sneakers like that. Like it was a fun thing. And then I was like, shit. And then we like made this thing. I had to like take a bunch of copies back. I had to destroy them all. We reprinted it in color and changed them to silver. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's wild. But yeah, I love Frank Baum is a fucking nut job. Like I love digging into this stuff because it is the weirdest, most odd, chaotic universe to play in. It's so wild.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Out of everyone you could have chosen to, Nick Chopper would definitely be the one dealing something, because his backstory is horrifying.
Yeah.
How he became it was just like, Jesus Christ. How do you survive that without mental damage?
Yeah, I love. So one of the funny things that comes up is, so for anybody who's watching who doesn't know what Emerald City Police Department is, so ECPD takes place in a sort of an alternate version of Wizard of Oz, where there is a thing called the Witch War, and the Witch War is where all the Wicked Witches all fought to try to control Oz. After that ended, there was sort of this power vacuum in Emerald City, and the crime families of Emerald City tried to fight for this power. They're called the Five Jewels. So seeing that there was just all this chaos, the Cowardly Lion creates a militant police force called ECPD to maintain order in Emerald City, and recruits Dorothy to come back as his lead detective. And her partner is a reformed flying monkey who is like doing service for citizenship. So that's where we start off at. But the core story of the series is Dorothy is investigating the Yellow Brick Road, which is an underground heroin trafficking route from Munchkin Land to Emerald City. I love shitty cop shows. It's like one of my guilty pleasures. Like I could watch fucking CSI Miami all day, every day. That show is so bad and so great all the time. So I knew, like, I just thought it was so funny to do this like cop drama, this police procedural, like in this wild universe with all these crazy creatures and monsters and just psychos living in this one place. So that is ECPD.
and it is glorious.
You want to carry over on that. You know, and she was like, I'm in. Like,
Yeah.
he did right. And I'm like, oh boy.
So one crazy thing is after we did the Ashcan, the artist who had done the Ashcan, we weren't able to keep him on the series.
Mhm.
And one of the things I had been struggling with, like originally I said, hey, I really want to do this. I had wanted to do ECPD more like in a manga style, which is why we did what we did.
Right.
But one of the things that I found like at the end of the Ashcan is like, it didn't feel brutal enough. Like, and it didn't feel dark enough and kind of fucked up enough. And I struggled for the Ashcan came out and I put everything on pause for a few months because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I felt so conflicted.
Right.
And by like pure chance, I wonder if I send you a photo, can you is there a way to show it? Like, I'm send it to you, Drew?
Yeah.
I'll put my email in the private chat and you send that.
Okay.
Yeah. Send it to Leo because he's the keyboard monkey. So
there are the dogs.
Yeah, he makes us fly. We're his pretties.
Okay,
Thank you.
So I went back and kind of like rethought things, rethought how I wanted it to look and everything. And we ended up with a really crazy thing. So I will put these photos here in this email and you can see how fucking awful this is.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
What an advertisement, everyone.
Well, I don't try to sugarcoat any of this.
Oh no. You gotta be real.
Yeah.
It's also so funny that you mentioned CSI Miami because I back in the day, my family was really big on CSI Vegas, and my mom loves Miami primarily because she's a fan of David Caruso, and I can't stand it because like you said, it is just like Vegas. I got Gary Sinise in New York. I was like, okay,
Gary Sinise I fuck with because he's a great actor.
Right. No, exactly. So him, William Peterson in Vegas. I was like, fine. Yep. But there was just something about David Caruso in Miami, and I think I for a time I just did my best to always do his say the line, and then you take the sunglasses off. And I had this friend. I said a line. I was like, "Can you act like you're starting the Who?" After I said the line, he was like, yeah. And so I did it. It was like, yeah, exactly. I was like, I guess that's how the cookie crumbled. And we were all drinking at that point. So we all just burst into laughter. So the whole room in the apartment was just dying of laughter. And I was like, I can't top this. It's one of those I can't do the same joke again. It's not gonna be funny.
Well, I admire anything that in the face of complete mockery takes itself so seriously.
Yeah.
And that show, it's like when Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy is so fucking bad. But they take it so seriously that I just love it. I can't hate it because I'm just they're so committed. So these are some of the images from the series, from the first issue.
Oh, that's awesome!
It is fucking wild. So Stan Yak is drawing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's Tatty Poo. She's such a fucking psycho. I really so this is the 5 jewels. This is the 5 jewels of Oz. And they're all super shitty people. But I just love how dark Stan made it. And I really tried to push him to listen, make it fucked up. I want it to be fucked up. And he did not disappoint. So that's the first page colored.
Wow.
It
at
came
that.
out really nice. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, my thing is, I like just looking at the style, even in black and white, it has that gritty 2000 AD kind of feel to it. You know, that 2000 AD Judge Dredd kind of real grittiness to, you know, there's the fantasy because it's, you know, in the future or whatever, but it's real. It's that grounded in reality. Like, people will die. And just because it's like, and I think that's the other thing I like about reading it is I feel some people forget that magic always does have a dark side, and that dark side is very raw and unpredictable, and oftentimes it backfires on people who use it because, again, they're, oh, I'm going to make this wish. I'm like, yeah, but what wish are you going to make? How are you going to make it? What are you going to say? You know what I mean? It's not just as simple as like a Disney movie. It was like, oh, I'm going to make a wish. I'm like, okay, then you're going to die. Like, yeah, but no, this looks awesome, and I swear, even here I can see Carrie's lights. Like, I'm like, I'll make note of this.
So
am I right, Carrie?
Well, yeah, I'm already questioning who the 5 jewels are, but is Tatty Poo a takeoff of the Patchwork Girl?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Good enough.
I'm not telling you too much. I can't tell you too much.
All right. I
can't say
didn't
too
want
much.
to be invasive. I was just like, you know, that's some of my favorite ones, and that was kind of cool.
It's
fucking rad. I have one question. So, did you ever, Garrett? Did you ever watch Return from Oz? And even as an adult, were you traumatized by its ness?
No. I mean, listen, Well, yeah, I'm traumatized enough. It takes a great deal to get. Hey, Jar's back.
Yeah.
So sorry.
No, just because.
Hopefully everything's okay.
I remember watching it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I as a child, I didn't have the stony demeanor that Carrie has remained through her life. I just remember thinking this. I was like, "Oh, this is not the same. Oh no, this is not. This is a. Oh boy, things got dark after Wizard of Oz. Things got really dark.
That's like all I watch like anymore is like just awful, horrific things. This is like the only thing I can get to like feel something. Like I watch, you know, dramas and shit, and I'm just like I'm just like empty. I'm just like I don't like. Oh, okay, this is a good story. I don't know. Like I want to like feel pain, man, feel something. So I have a pretty dark catalog of things that I watch. So not much traumatizes me.
I have some suggestions.
Yeah, Carrie, I think you have a new candidate for Tomb of the Terrible. I think he would fit.
I mean, you would be good. We watch terrible movies and then we review them, like mostly B movies. But if you really want to feel ultimate pain and sorrow inside because there's just not enough depression already in your life, check out Trees Lounge, Ghost World, both of those. Trees Lounge. It's a Steve Buscemi movie.
Oh, fuck it. I'm in 100%. Like,
that
Buscemi. Where's life?
And him in Ghost World. And then anything by Vincent Gallo. There are like 3 Vincent Gallo movies I could tell you about, but they're all just like, oh God, I'm not sure if I should finish this bottle of Wild Turkey.
What was the name of that person?
Vincent Gallo.
Vincent Gallo. Gallo.
Why did that happen?
Yeah, right.
He did Buffalo 66, Brown Bunny, and Trouble Every Day. And they're all like, he is the king of uncomfortable. You're just like watching it, you're just like physically uncomfortable as things are going through, and you're just like, I can't believe this is happening. So it really just grabbed it kind of in the same way that, have you ever watched May? The movie about the girl who, if you can't find a friend, make one. And it's a girl who has a doll growing up. It's all of that kind of feels going throughout it. Like this is awkward and painful and reminds me of things, and it's a different outlet, but I know that I can relate to that. So yeah.
I just watched, not to get off on this like crazy tangent about like fucked up movies. I just watched Men. Have you seen Men? It's so it's an A24 joint, which is usually always like a fucking checkbox for me. Like A24 made it, got it. Yeah. I'll watch it. It is about this woman who she tells her partner she wants a divorce, and he's like, I'm gonna kill myself if you leave me. She's like, get the fuck out of here. He like goes upstairs to the apartment above her, jumps out the window, so she has to watch him kill himself. And then she is fucked up, and she's like, I'm going on a vacation. She's like, I'm gonna get away from all this crazy shit. So she like books this cabin like in rural England, and she shows up, and there's no other people, like there's no women in the town. It's all men. It's very rural. So there's like 20 people that live in town, but it's all dudes, and they're all played by the same actor, but in different prosthetics, different costumes, different things, like even like CGI to be children, but it's like his face, like that's really fucked up. Cool. And at the end, a dude is birthed through a butthole. It's awesome. It's the weirdest, most fucked up thing I've seen in so long. Like I got to a point at the end that I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like in my own life, like I was starting to like question my existence. It was awesome. It was awesome. It's on Prime for free. So.
Okay, so Leo and Jar, Garrett and Carrie are not allowed to choose movie for movie night. I'm just
no, definitely not.
Now, yeah. Carrie maybe.
I might watch that though.
No, but Carrie maybe because she's cinematically challenged in certain regards. Garrett, love you, buddy. No,
Listen, it's artsy too. It's like, I mean, did you see The Green Knight? That's another one. Put that one on your list too.
Oh no,
Green Knight.
Not The Green Knight, but I just watched his other movie.
Monkey Man.
Yes, Monkey Man. Yep.
I haven't seen it yet. I heard it's awful, which just means I want to watch it.
Yeah, it was definitely not what the trailers made it out to be, but
really,
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it's. I enjoyed it.
It just looked like another Hitman beat 'em up.
Well, yeah, it was like he's Indian, right? Like it was like Indian John Wick.
Yeah.
It's definitely a very Indian John Wick, but it really goes into like the Indian culture.
Oh, cool.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
it becomes
cool.
like very. Yeah, very cool. It becomes very spiritual, and it's
all right. I fuck with that.
Yeah,
but it
does he get the glow? Like,
no, if they don't break into like dancing and singing at some point, I'll be really pumped.
Oh, right.
It's not an Indian Dragon Ball movie. I mean, like you talk about orbs. Well, I'm like, no, but there's definitely a dance.
He got all spiritual and stuff, you know, like he's got to use the force of some sort.
One of the main bad guys is this this priest. He's in with the government, and it's all about trying to take him money. But then the good character, there's this, you have this priest that's in full of wealth and everything, and then while he's like down in the dumps and everything, there's a priest of like the back alleys, and they save him. And
back alley priest, that was my nickname in college, bro.
There we go. But it's it gets a little different.
I love it. I'm putting it on my list.
Yeah, because it like brings in like
circle back to the back alley
and
priest?
Yeah. Can we circle back to when Leo pauses for things? That he kind of like I was not a fan of this. So, but I'm trying to be open-minded for you. It was different. It was, it's like when somebody when your parents try describing something that they didn't like, but they knew they were like, it was something. It was something else.
Was something, yeah.
Yeah, something else. so circling, I think we might want to circle back to the book the time we have.
I was gonna say, where's our squirrel wrangler at? We're
Yeah,
out here
yeah,
talking about
hey,
fucked up movies.
hey, we're getting nuts over there. But because Jar, you came in late, so I wanted you to ask a couple of questions. Because
where were you guys? Did you guys get into I Hate You? Now please
oh yeah,
die?
We've been bouncing back and forth,
We're all
so
over the
feel
place.
free to go
Yeah.
anywhere you want.
yeah, we did a little bit about Good Old Boy. So there's gonna be 6 volumes, Jar.
Good Old Boy.
Yeah, Good Boy.
It's Good Boy.
Yeah, Good Boy.
I get Old Boy and Good Old Boy and all that all the time. So
yeah, so 6 volumes of Good Boy. There will be superheroes in volume 5.
Whoa.
Yeah, 6 volumes. He's already working on that.
I do have to ask though, in the version of Good Old Boy, does he drive an orange Dodge Charger?
Yes.
Leo, I swear to God,
He's a good old boy.
I would like to point out that when we go to Good Old Boy, Leo immediately jumps to just a good old boy, and I'm in Korean horror, like, what the fuck did I just watch version of Old Boy?
Yep.
Okay,
And
Carrie,
yeah, he's with me. He's with me, right?
Carrie, I was on your version because I am not gonna lie. I imagine Flint Sparks trying to eat an octopus, like in Old Boy, and then I was like, I haven't yet to look at a hammer the same ever again after that. I was like, you'd think Dexter Morgan showed us what you could do with a hammer, and then I'm like, oh no. Old Boy was like, all you need is one blunt object and you can kill an entire hallway of men. And I'm like, oh boy. And I was like, and this before John Wick showed us what we could do with the pencil.
Yeah. With the pencil. Yeah.
So did we get into Garrett's military existence?
No, so you can go for that.
No. Oh, fantastic.
Go, Jar.
So, I didn't do it, Jar, whatever it is.
First, you're a Marine, right? Or you are a Marine? No,
absolutely not. I was Army.
No, Army. Okay, my bad.
I'm just
so. First question.
It's just the most offensive thing you can say to call somebody a jarhead, but it's fine. It's fine.
Jar.
Jar, we want him to come back, buddy.
I'm sorry, I came in hot.
It's okay. I'm just fucking with you, Jar.
Buddy. God.
Well, what was military life like?
It was awesome.
Was it? No.
I mean, it was like, so I come from a family of military people. So my father was 101st Airborne Infantry in Vietnam. My grandfather was a combat engineer in World War II. My great-grandfather was in World War I. Like, it's a family tradition. My dad never wanted me to join. He said the military was for people that couldn't afford a college education. And I did it anyway. And I did what he wanted. I was like, all right, I'll go to college. And I did college for a little bit. I was like, this sucks, dude. I want like excitement and money and stuff. So I went, joined the Army, and my wife at the time, she had said like, oh, I won't get, we're not going to get married if you're going to go infantry, because that's what I wanted to do, right? Like I wanted to follow in my dad's and my grandfather's footsteps. And she was like, no. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, I tested really high on the ASVAB, and they were like, you're going to go Intel. And she was like, that was great. And then right after school, got my first duty station was Fort Hood, Texas. And the person even at my school was like, Gunn, I hope you like deploying, bro. I left school. I got to Fort Hood. I was there like 3 months before I left to go to Afghanistan. Did a tour in Afghanistan, got all fucked up, came back, worked for the NSA and a bunch of other stuff, doing like stuff at home. I worked for the NSA, CIA, a bunch of other shit, a bunch of alphabet bullshit. And then in an effort to try to like get myself better, because I was struggling with some things I had gone through, I went to my doctor and I told him a bunch of shit that I thought was like confidential, that like, hey, I'm doing like the right thing. Like I'm here to get help. And I told him a bunch of stuff. He turned around and told my chain of command, was like, this guy is not fit for service. Get rid of him. And
no shit.
they immediately put me up for a medical board. And luckily, because my injuries were sustained in combat, I got a medical retirement and not a medical discharge. So I got retired out of the military, which means that I got a pension and insurance, which is great because it allows me to make comics. But yeah, it was, I mean, but I've been around that kind of stuff my whole life. You know, like hearing stories like growing up about my dad and my grandfather and like seeing them in movies. Like my dad's in the movie Hamburger Hill, like in like flashback scenes and stuff. Like my grandfather's like in a bunch of fucking, I mean, it was like the 40s, right? In LA. My grandfather lived in Torrance, California. And like, he's like in the newspaper. It's like, you know, Silver Star recipient saves platoon by blah, blah, like fashioned a combat bridge, like to get a group of people out of danger, like under live fire, like fucking just crazy shit. And so it was like very romanticized to me of like, oh my God, I have to do this thing. This is going to be so badass. It was not as badass as I thought it would be for a lot of it. That 1 year was really badass. The rest of it was just like a lot of marching and a lot of like doing chores. But like there's to this day, I miss the like camaraderie and the like structure and like just like the sense of purpose like that I had when I was in, and like I would go back tomorrow if they told me I could. But luckily I'm like, well, unluckily for me, I'm barred from reenlistment because of my medical retirement. So can't get around it. I have to get like the attorney general or some shit, like the chief surgeon of the army to sign off if I want to reenlist, which is like never gonna happen. So plus now I'm fat, like I got out of shape.
Oh, come on.
I'm like, it's a whole thing. Like I can't do all those push-ups anymore.
Listen,
So,
if we've
So it must have been cool. Oh, I'm sorry, Drew.
Garrett, if we've learned anything, is that all he needs is a good montage, and he'll lose that weight like nothing.
that's true. Dun, 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 dun. Just start going. Dun, 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 dun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just montage it.
True. Should hire a band to follow me around and do it.
Yep.
Did you just lay down?
I've always had that dream.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you did.
There's a
Right.
game that I play called True Moves. This is 1 point.
I've had a long day. Okay, you don't get to judge. Okay, sure. Ask him the
I was just surprised. I wasn't judging you.
He's
I was just
hanging
surprised.
upside down on one of those things that stretch you out.
Inversion tables.
Drew's getting
Yeah.
stretched out. Got it. Next subject.
So it must have been really cool that like so many military peeps were like, you know, drawn to Warcorns and stuff. How did that even happen? First of all, that like it sounds like a whole war buddies kind of
Yeah.
comic.
So I after I'd been out for a little while, and I was like really feeling like nostalgic and shit, and I like love. I mean, one of the greatest things about being in the military is making fun of each other and like fucking with each other, and like, you know, hazing the other branches and like doing all this stuff. So I was like, it'll be funny. I'm gonna make a book where I'm gonna like make fun of everybody that I served with. And then like, I'm going to put references to real people in there. Like I'm going to base characters off of like real platoon sergeants I had and like people I looked up to, people I thought were stupid, like all these things. And at the time, like Franklin and Ghost was starting to go, and it was Warcorns was meant to be the original one shot was meant to just be a one shot, one and done. Like we got like, this is the series that followed the one shot. So we did an original one shot. They show up to like, they're like, we build them up to be this like incredible badass fighting force. They show up to this facility where Franklin and Ghost are trying to break in and steal a container. And like by accident, Franklin and Ghost kill all of them. Like they don't even know they're there. Like they're trying to use a machine. They drop a container. It like squishes one of them. Crazy shit. We did it. We ran the Kickstarter. It was super successful. It was my first big, like, successful Kickstarter. I was like, oh, cool, that was done. Like they all died at the end. And I started getting messages from people on Kickstarter, like, when's the next one? And I'm like, did you read that one? Because they're all dead. They're all dead in it. And they're like, yeah, but like, when's the next one though? And I'm like, I mean, soon, which is like what you always tell people. So I was like, okay, well, while I figure out how to unkill all of them, let's just go back and start at the beginning of how they became the Warcorns and shit. So we did this series, and it is so wild. But what's so funny about it is literally this last weekend at Motor City, like the only copy of Warcorns I signed all weekend was by a Marine who was in uniform, who was like on duty, like he had like was doing like weekend duty, came right after duty to the show to bring the book and get it signed. Like it is by far the most hits the hardest with all of them. And I'm like, I'm making fun of you guys, right? Like they're like, yeah, it's so awesome, dude. Like when this happened. So it's really like it's very nice. It's very nice that they are able to like look past, like to appreciate it, right? And last in like November of last year, I was approached by the U.S. Army Heritage and Education Center. They were doing a big display in the Army Museum for veterans who use art as therapy for PTSD. And they were like, hey, so we saw this comic, Warcorns. What the fuck is this? They had seen a new newspaper article that my hometown did about like how I use comics to deal with my trauma and shit. And they were like, yo, we want to put this in the Army Museum. Can we do this? They did this big long interview with me. There's a giant cutout of Big Sarge like in the Army Museum.
Oh yeah.
There's like a big stupid picture of my face and like my military pictures and stuff about the story, about whatever. So it's very weird. Like it's a very weird thing that like it was just supposed to be a joke, making fun of my buddies. And now it's like in a museum. It's so strange. But they are those five now in Back to Basics. There's Staff Sergeant Kill, but those 5 characters are very fun to write. I very seldom have as much fun. Like all of my stuff is unhinged, but like Warcorns, I take myself the least seriously, and I just do the most outlandish, dumb shit I can think of. The next, we're working on the next Warcorns right now. It's called Six Shooters and Skull Kickers. It's have any of you read all of the Warcorns miniseries?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we all did. Yeah.
Have you read Birthday Bash, which came after the miniseries? Okay, so at the end of Birthday Bash, they all disappear. They all like no one knows where the Warcorns are. And we find out in the next one that a bunch of them got sucked back to the past, to the Wild West. And now they show up and they're like them. And there's all this crazy shit happening in this town. It's very Tremors, like very like peaceful town being haunted by monsters. And like they ride horses and become cowboys. It's so stupid. I love it so much. Like
I thought that was funny
Gunny falls in love with a bit like this giant Clydesdale named Bertha. It's like this. It's just so stupid.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny when they had the Mountie in one of them riding on top of a horse.
Yeah.
I was just
Rico
like,
Tremblay.
wow.
He's a Canadian Mountie. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, that is hilarious.
That's something that I like with it. And you said you have the absurd verse, but you have regular dogs in Good Boy, and I'm slightly confused still as to how some of the human anthropomorphic dogs relationships work out, because I love when the one interview, the lady's just like, that anthropomorphic creatures
like,
occur in this universe.
In this
Why are you
talking?
Yeah. So but then so having like a dog with a dog or a horse riding a horse.
That's entirely
really
intentional.
Fun.
It's very intentional because like we want people to like try to like figure out. They're like, I don't understand how is breeding happening? What is happening here? There's like humans, and then there's human dogs, and then there's like human cats,
right.
there's real dogs. Like, what is going on? And I'm like, I don't know. What do you think's going on?
Right.
And then you just like
comic
watch
book,
them
damn it.
squirm, and they're like, I don't know. It's great.
I-
And we'll never answer it. You'll never get an answer to that question because it makes me so happy that no one understands it. Yeah.
I honestly feel like it's just if someone came with you like a crazy theory and they had this whole thing, you just be like, yes.
I say yes to everything.
Right.
So like no matter what people guess, I always say yes, so that it like creates like different stories out there. And then like, well, but he said this, but then he said this was true too. I will say that we know from Prodigal Son, the 3rd volume, we know that Flint has a kid. So we know that these human dogs can have children with humans. But other than that, we're just gonna like let people figure it out.
God, man, it's just a fucking comic book. Just enjoy it.
That's the point. People would get like, but you can't have that. I'm like, I can have anything I want.
It's my
a
world.
made up thing. We made it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you trying to comic explain me? Like, no.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
Leo, do you have any questions? Because I know we're coming near an hour, and that's kind of your move.
Yeah, no, we're actually a little bit past, so I think I'm all good.
Okay, cool. I just making sure.
Go ahead, Leo. Come on.
Listen, we're good. What you got?
Okay. Well, no. You mentioned watching, crappy cop shows. Is there anything you're watching right now?
So it's not a crappy cop show, but it is kind of like I'm watching it because it's got a bit of an inspiration like into ECPD and other stuff that I'm working on. But I've been watching Barry.
Oh, I love Barry.
Barry is so like I love movies that have characters that don't make sense. Like it's so out of their fucking like realm, right? Like I don't know if you guys have seen Nobody. Like Nobody,
love Nobody.
Fucking awesome because I always want to call him Saul Goodman. Fucking I forget his real name. He is just like not that dude.
Right.
It's just not that dude. So like it's so awesome to watch that where like he's seems so out of place, but so perfect. And Bill Hader is one of the funniest fucking human beings on the planet.
Yeah.
And watching him like switch it from like I'm in season 4 right now. Like I'm at the end. Like I think like 4 is the last season. And so I'm in fully unhinged Bill Hader right now. And watching the like genius fucking acting of this guy go from like I'm crazy and I don't really understand what's going on. Like reality is unraveling around me. And then someone shoots at him and it's like a light switch. And he's just like totally serious and super fucking scary. I just love it. I love it. And I've been watching things like that because I'm writing characters that are like bipolar, personality disorder, like stuff like that. So I just clung to that and I've been watching it straight for like the last week and a half, just like straight through every day. I'm like, have my lunch. I'm gonna watch 2 episodes of Barry, just like get through it.
Awesome.
But I did like the last one. I mean, my 12-year-old's obsessed with NCIS, so that's always kind of on in the house. Listen, I know it's just so bad, but it's so good that it's so bad. It's all awful. But the last thing I watched, I haven't really watched any other cop stuff recently except for The Little Things, which was like a fucked up cop drama. That shit was fucking wild. And then I just watched Talk to Me, which is not a cop show.
If you haven't seen it already, Baby Reindeer.
That's on my list. That's on my list because it's also super fucked up, right?
wicked. It like goes
Yeah.
to places you're not even expecting it to
I can't
go, and
wait.
it's just like
It's on my
wow.
list. I'm so excited for it.
Talk
It
about
looks-
trauma though. Whew.
Oh, for sure. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny when, I mean, I love that he put just that fucking awful trauma into this show just for the world to see. Like, I thought it was, like when I was talking to Boom about I Hate You, Please Die, and they came back and they were like, oh, this is, not really like the kind of like bombastic comedy we're going, like that we're interested in. And I was like, I don't know if you don't know what the word bombastic means, or like if you don't understand like that it has to be that crazy to offset like the very real awful trauma we're addressing here. But I applaud, I forget his name, the guy that made Baby Reindeer, but like good on him. Like that's gonna be, I'm so excited to watch it. It's gonna be so fucking crazy.
Oh, I finished it in a day, maybe a day and a
Really?
half.
Is it a movie or a show?
It's a series. It's a small like mini series.
Oh, okay. So it's not like
I think it's like six or eight, somewhere in there.
Oh, that's like a weekend, man. That's
yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
it should definitely give you some ideas too, man.
Good.
Like, if
Good.
you want to get some weird
the more awful stuff we can cram into my brain, the better. Yeah.
Henry, you had a question?
I wanted to bring up before we let you go here. Before the show, I was just looking over the Kickstarter that you had. That it looks like it just finished up pretty recently for Trample.
Yep.
And I had a slideshow ready to go. It will not share it for some reason, so I just moved everything over here. I just wanted to show some people the covers, but what we have here is it was in part for your 10-year celebration of writing comics. And the story, it says, is a child is killed by a trap that is set for the mother, then hunts down and destroy those responsible for it. It's 32 pages. And it is loosely based on a terrible true story, or something like a ridiculously true story.
A ridiculously true story. So there was a article I love. I mean, I just get like the algorithm can be both terrifying, but also so awesome because I get like, it knows I'm like love ridiculous, stupid stories. And so I get like all these, like, here's a suggested article for you, like of a story from 10 years ago. And it was a lady in, I believe it was India. She accidentally scared a baby elephant. The mom was there, got pissed and stomped her to death. And then weeks later and like miles away, they're having this woman's funeral. And the same elephant shows up to her funeral, scares everybody off, breaks her body out of the casket, and stomps it again.
Oh my God.
It's fucking wild. So I was like, this has got to be a comic book. Like, this is wild. So we made it poachers who were trying to like hunt for this great elephant and accidentally catch the baby in the trap. And mom's not pleased. And so like she kills them. Right. And then they're like taking their body back to the U. Like their bodies are being like escorted back to the US. And she like storms the flight line and like destroys the plane, like breaks the bodies out, just like in a ball of flame, just fucking like stomps these people again. It's funny because I just got the books in for the Kickstarter today. Like this is the Ivan Tao like foil and embossed cover.
Look at that.
It's so fucking awesome.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah.
That tree looks dope on that.
It turned out so good. But yeah, it looks great. It's so awesome and ridiculous.
Are you opening a store with all those pop figures?
Dude, so I collect signed pops. Most of the ones that I have are autographed. With the exception of all the Office ones, because there's so many. But like I learned a very long time ago that I can't be much of a collector anymore because one, it's so like I get a lot of gifts for some reason. People like bring me things and they're like, here, I brought you this thing. And like I don't have room for like all this stuff. So I was like, okay, I like Funko Pops. going to collect Funko Pops, but I'm not going to collect them all. I'm going to collect a very small group of them. And like, I'm only going to keep them like if I can get them signed. Because then it's like a moment and a memory, and it's like a special thing. So I have like a bunch up here that are signed and all kinds of shit. Probably the best one is I have Dumb and Dumber, signed by Jim Carrey and Jeff by Jeff. So like I've got them. Got Ramona Flowers, who's my fucking fictional girlfriend / wife.
Where'd you catch Jim Carrey at?
It was a mail-in. It was like a special like thing. It wasn't public. It was like Jim Carrey's coming in to sign stuff. Do you want things signed?
Like what?
Yes. But I've got
that could really be like a scary introduction to Jim Carrey, or it could also be like a really good introduction to him.
No.
Depending on how he's feeling.
Yeah, no. I have probably the best ones. Is I've got so I do a show every year called Voices Against Cancer. It's a children's cancer charity event in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and they bring in like the craziest stars to this show, and then me. I don't ask questions, so you go to these things and like you get to like it's not like a convention where like, oh, like everyone's got their agents or whatever. Like everyone stays together, everyone hangs out together, like all this. So last year, John Rhys Davies and Lawrence McClure were there, who you know who John Rhys Davies is, but Lawrence McClure is played the Witch King of Angmar, and he played Lurtz the Uruk-hai, and like tons of other things. So like I got all of my Lord of the Rings pops signed by them, and I've got like No Man Can Kill Me, like signed by the Witch King. I've got Toss Me, the Gimli. I got my Gimli pop signed.
Nice.
Toss Me by John Rhys Davies. So yeah, it's a lot. I'm a fucking nerd.
Yeah, I was about to
Plus
say
I like Ninja
everybody.
Turtles. Plus I like Ninja Turtles.
Oh, you got the shoes.
I do.
Oh, nice.
That's.
I got a different
sweet.
turtle on every check mark.
I almost folded and got the Masters of the Universe shoes, but
From Bull Airs.
Yeah,
dude,
they were crazy.
Listen, this has turned into one big infomercial of me like talking about all the things I love. Bull Airs though makes the fucking sickest shoes. Like the problem is I never want to wear them. Like
well,
I buy them and I'm like, oh, I can't. They're so pretty.
That was the buying factor. My wife was just like, "Will you ever wear these?" I'm like,
I am going to start wearing them though. I decided. I saw Kevin Eastman wearing his. He has these same ones. They're called the Party Wagons. Kevin Eastman was wearing his, and I was like, if Kevin has the balls to wear his, I also will wear mine. So I'm going to start wearing them at Dallas Fan Expo.
Put little slippies on them, so you don't scuff them and stuff.
You know, actually, I did just discover this thing you can buy on Amazon where they're skins for the bottom of your shoes.
Oh no shit!
And it's like a little like thin layer of like adhesive, and it like rolls onto the bottom of your shoe. You wear it to the con and around, and then at the end you peel it off, and it looks brand new.
Oh, that.
Yeah, so I am gonna get those before I wear them to Dallas. But plus, I'm gonna have to switch out my Leo check marks because he's the best turtle. So,
Boy,
yeah.
Where's Justin Cooper when you need him, right, guys?
Who?
Right,
Justin
yeah.
Cooper?
He's our resident shellhead.
Well, listen, Justin Cooper's the one that was trying to get me like in with Bull Airs because I was like trying to do good boy shoes. And I said, listen, you're already making limited quantity shoes. I guarantee you, if you make good boy shoes, we can sell 50 pairs of them, like 100%. And I could never get Tom Bowman to like do it. And Justin was like, dude, you don't understand. Fucking Good Boy's dope. Like we need Good Boy shoe. Like it would be a good John Wick kind of shoe.
There you go.
It's so fucking perfect. And you wouldn't have to worry about the fucking licensing rights because the creator is telling you.
Yeah, right.
Love that.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're trying. I haven't given up hope. I'm going to get a Good Boy shoe.
There you go.
Can we see the Flint figure that you have behind you?
Yes, you can. So we have vinyl figures. We have vinyl toys for Good Boy.
Yeah. The last time you were
good,
on,
my good friend Audra Lockwood, she is an incredible painter. She makes like altered paintings. She did some customs
oh
of
wow,
Flint. She did this. He's got real jewelry on.
Oh, nice.
Look at
I
his
love
little
that.
look at his, and he's got a golden gun. Like, it's so good. He's got little skulls in his eyes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She painted like a set of them for our backers on the Kickstarter, and this one came in and I was like, this one is mine. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Just falling asleep. So
Yeah.
probably
fall asleep. Just I'm content that this went really well.
really unprofessional, Drew.
Shut. You know what? Thank you for the time. And before you go, the only thing and Leo would cover this. It'd be like, how do people interact with you? Like, what's the best way, social media?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, at Some Writer Guy. Because if you can't remember who wrote it, Some Writer Guy. That's it.
Genius.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And we got a
Well,
lot
I got
of
tired
that
of carrying
information.
business cards. That was so much easier.
Bam.
I got a lot of your information show notes up above or down below.
Woo!
And before we let you go, just two recommendations real quick. Mr. In Between, have you seen that?
Nope, but I'll add it to my list.
Ooh, it's a Australian show. It's like a hitman trying to be good. It's very similar to Barry.
Okay.
But,
All right, I like
but
that.
it's like an Australian one and like, yeah, really dark.
Okay.
But another one similar to Barry, it's not as dark though. Get Shorty.
I don't get Shorty.
The TV show.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's from what. Yeah, it's the TV show is awesome.
All right.
It
Got it on my
stars,
list. I have so many things to watch. I already had such a long list.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, we'll let you go, Garrett. I want to thank you so much for your time this evening. And there's a leave studio button on the bottom. When you click that, if you remember, brings you to an uploads page. If you can just let it finish the uploads, and then we do some editing afterwards with the raw video.
Sounds good to me. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
sorry, I keep
Oh,
dipping out
thank you.
Garrett. Family
It's okay.
emergencies.
Listen, I got 2 of those fucking things. I know how it goes. It's not a problem. Trust me.
His clock starts, so he gets.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much, guys. And
Thank you.
hopefully you have me back again.
Yeah. And
Totally.
please, if you're ever at a con that we're at, we'll find you.
You should.
And we will.
Coming up. I'll be at Fan Expo Dallas, Denver. I'll be at Baltimore. I'll be at New York. Hopefully, I'll be at I'm trying to get into Wicked, and I'm trying to go to Heroes Con, and I'm trying to go to Galaxy Con. So those are the ones I'm working on right now.
Damn.
Well,
you are busy.
Good luck, and we'll make sure we bring you beer next time we see you.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
That was awesome.
That was so much
I'm
fun.
so sorry, guys. I feel like I'm screwing up the show, running back
Not
in
at
and out.
all. Not at all.
Oh yeah. Screw up the show by being a good parent. Yeah. No. What a horrible example.
Stop
Yeah.
yelling at me. I can't take it anymore.
If we need to, Jar, do we need to get you a shirt that says "Life Before Pod"?
No. I understand.
You know, and you know what you can do though? You can make it with us by starting off the news.
With?
It's getting better at that.
Hello there. Do you like variants? Do you like to watch them? This is Variant Watch. Why are we on me?
I'm just trying him to have like an old trench coat with unsolved mysteries, like variant. them.
Okay, some week we're just gonna make you buy all the variants, and you're just gonna get the camera and go across your ceiling
There you go.
for
Oh
each
God.
one.
Okay, we're starting off with DC Comics. It's set to unveil a fresh series of variant covers arriving this August, I believe, envisioning a never-before-seen collection of DC action figures as if they were part of Kenner's lineup from 1984 to 1986. Crafted by Alex Saviuk,
Saviuk. Mm-hmm.
Saviuk, known for his work as character artist on Kenner packaging during that period, these covers pay homage to that era and also recall the mini comics that accompanied each figure.
Mm-hmm.
Named DC Superpowers, these covers will grace titles like Batman number 151, Gotham City Sirens number 1, Green Lantern War Journal number 12, Nightwing number 117, Power Girl number 12, Superman number 17, and The Flash number 12, and Titans number 14.
Yep.
The designs for these new variant covers are the brainchild of Jason Geyer, a prominent authority of the original Kenner Superpowers toy line. Geyer, a respected toy designer himself, is also the co-founder of Raving Toy Maniac and Action Figure Insider. Yeah, that's about all about those. Coming in August, starting whenever August is.
Starting from 7th to the 28th of August.
Yes.
Yeah. I got you, buddy. So
Beautiful. Whenever
August is.
in August.
definitely before
Look for one of these covers.
No, honestly, I thought this was super cool. I mean,
I like the Nightwing one.
yeah, look at that classicness. Oh, it's just like it's always nice when you see homages to where we've been. And this is both in terms of collecting, but also, you know, comics. Comics has come a long way, you know? So,
I agree.
yeah. So I actually thought Jar would you might pick up one or two of these.
I don't know. I was looking at they actually have new superpower figures out. I don't even know what wave they're on now. And I have one because somebody picked it up for me for like, I don't know if it was birthday, Christmas, or Father's Day, but one of those three holidays. It's the Joker that or not the Batman that laughs, or Batman that doesn't laugh. I don't know. It's the creepy one from Metal.
The Batman who laughs.
Yes. I kind of wanted the dark side, but the rest of the line I was kind of
That's fine. So what's next after that?
Oh, next after that, well, I'm glad you asked, Drew.
Oh, no.
Prepared to bask under the sun along DC's iconic heroes and infamous villains. Recently, the publisher revealed a sneak peek at their summer 2024 swimsuit variant covers, set to grace the pages of their August releases. So again, in August. These covers will feature refreshing takes on beloved characters, including Batman by Oliver Copiel, Gotham City Sirens by Raza, Nightwing by Belen Ortega, Superman by Elizabeth Torque, The Flash by Mirka Andolfo, Titans by Sawi variant, and Wonder Woman by Gilliam March, and Action Comics by Frank Cho. This isn't the first time DC has dabbled in swimsuit variant covers. They previously did so in 2022 and 2023. Notably, the 2023 lineup included Gnort's Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. Mark your calendars. The Batman and Gotham City Sirens will hit shelves August 7th, followed by Action Comics on August 14th. August 21st, you will see Nightwing, Superman, Titans, and Wonder Woman, with The Flash closing out the month of August 28th.
I have never seen a less enthused looking Alfred than on that comic book cover.
Yes.
Show that again. Oh, sir.
It's just like, Jesus.
What is going on here?
And little steam coming from his head. Like, what the heck? And is Alfred back? Like, he's not back. He's still dead.
It's just for the cover.
Oh, maybe it's a spoiler.
Ooh, zombie Alfred.
No, it's just for the cover. You
Do
see.
you see the background though, with the no penguins, no Superman, no cat? I like this.
All right, I think there's jars. One more.
Yep. Just as soon as I'll just start reading it. Gwen Stacy. Are we up? Yeah, Gwen Stacy from Earth 65, also known as Ghost Spider, has emerged as one of Marvel's standout heroes in recent years. Her new solo series is set to elevate her popularity even further. In the upcoming series, Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider, writer Stephanie Phillips and artist Federica Mancini will place Gwen in the primary Marvel universe permanently. This shift promises fresh and thrilling storylines as Gwen takes on her role as New York's newest superhero. The first issue arrives this week, and to celebrate, comic shops will receive a special surprise variant cover for the Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider #1, illustrated by David Marquez. This promo surprise, I don't know how many they get with that. I couldn't find that if it's like a one per shop kind of thing, because if it is, it's going to be outrageously priced for a little while at least. Promo surprise variant cover captures Gwen as she embraces her new destiny in the 616. Now trapped in the 616 for good, Gwen moves to the world where the original Gwen Stacy tragically died. But what prompted her departure from Earth 65? Why must she keep her presence a secret from the other spiders? Why is she forbidden from suiting up? And who will suffer the consequences if she does? All this tomorrow.
Ooh, tomorrow. And will they think she's a clone?
Probably.
It is.
Don't.
Drew, you probably know most about. No,
well,
just
she just originally came back as a clone.
Yeah, listen, Jar, just trust me. Don't look too far into it. I mean, I personally think this is a bit of a mistake, but whatever.
It's a mistake.
She's a Spider-Man of her world. Taking her out just because she's a popular person and permanently sticking her in, I was like, you can't just leave a world unprotected like that. That's ridiculous. But that, again, maybe Stephanie Phillips does a good job. You know, she's going to be a terrific con, so we can always ask her.
Isn't Spider-Gwen in a rock band too? Or
yes.
Am I confused? Oh, no, it is her.
Mm-hmm. The Mary Janes. Yep.
What are they going to do without her?
I don't know. They'll find a better drummer.
The Mary Janes?
Yes. So
sounds like a pop band.
That's because everything sounds like a pop band to you, buddy. So that's Variant Watch. So, all right, do it.
That was it.
Drew's News. Exciting tales, fresh comic views. In the pages, heroes fly, villains plot under the sky. From Gotham's dark to Metropolis views, we cover stories old and new. Drew's News, your daily source for comic clues. Join the fun, it's a heroic cruise in the world of Drew's comic news.
God, why isn't this full of alcohol? All right, let's do this.
You know we do this, Drew. You have to you gotta bring bring your own drink.
Bring your own drink. BYOD.
The first story, please. Yes, and I'm sorry to say, everybody, that we do have to start the story with a sad note, which of course I'm covering because I don't look down enough. Don Perlin, who is a comic book creator who we best know as a co-creator for Marvel's iconic Moon Knight, recently passed away. His daughter, Elaine, revealed via Facebook that her dad passed away peacefully Tuesday, May 14th. Perlin, of course, had a decades-long career in the industry as a writer, artist, editor, which included multiple decades of working with Marvel. He started in industry in the 40s. In the 50s, he started doing work penciling horror comics for people like Atlas, which would later, as you know, become Marvel, Harvey Comics, even doing war comics for Charlton Comics, which would become DC. He worked exclusively on art for Charlton for about 11 years, then moved over to Marvel in the early 90s, no, not 1970s. My apologies, everybody. Getting a full-time job drawing for the company. Yeah, and he worked on Werewolf by Night, Morbius, the Living Vampire. He went from them to Ghost Rider, Defenders, Transformers. He worked pretty much on as many people as he could while he was there. Then he worked, then he went on to work to Valiant. He did Werewolf by Night issue 32, which was the first appearance of Moon Knight. Yeah, he even did the Beauty and the Beast miniseries. I was like, oh, that's random. 1991, he left Marvel to go join Valiant Comics, where he co-created their character Bloodshot and other titles he worked on. He is both an artist and editor. Solar, Man of the Atom, Shadow Man, Magnus, Robot Fighter. Seriously, thank you for everything, Mr. Perlin. Your presence is missed, but not forgotten. And us at Splash Pages, all the condolences to your family regarding your passing. Yep.
Did I do the math right? 95?
I'm sorry, what?
He was 95. Did I do the math right on that? Born in 29, died
90.
in 24. 94?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good run.
Yes, nice run. I think I saw somebody who had the last commission he ever did. He owns I was like, wow, that's awesome. So, yeah. Again, all of our greats will eventually go, everybody. So even more reason to meet them when you can.
And bring in new greats.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. So please, somebody else bring up the room. Next story, please.
Yeah. Okay. So, listen up, everybody. All you dudes and dudettes. No.
Woo! Dudes and dudettes.
Yeah. Okay. So Storm, the legendary X-Men powerhouse, and if you haven't been watching X-Men '97, like, holy crap, she totally kicks ass in that. So she's making a leap to join the Avengers this summer, and it's going to be incredible. So starting in Avengers number 17 this August, Storm will be bringing her Omega-level mutant abilities to Earth's mightiest heroes. Now, if you're a diehard fan, you know that this isn't the first time Storm has assembled with the Avengers. She had a brief run with the team back in 2012, and thanks to a recommendation from her ex-hubby, Black Panther. But this time, it's a whole new ball game. So the tragic fall of Krakoa, hopefully it's gone forever, has made the Avengers realize that they need a strong mutant voice on the team. And who better than the iconic and beloved mutant hero around? Storm's leadership skills and unique expertise will be crucial to the team as they face off against Kana, the Twilight Court, and whatever else writer Jed MacKay has up his sleeve. So speaking of MacKay, he'll also be taking over the main X-Men title in July. So, he's has big plans for Storm. And he explains that putting her on the Avengers allows her to have a presence that matches her status in the Marvel Universe. Plus, with Black Panther already on the team, we can expect some interesting ex-spouse dynamics, specifically with especially with since Scarlet Witch and Vision are also in the mix. And Storm isn't the only new addition to the Avengers. Artist Valero Sheedy, and I know I totally butchered that, who's both with the Avengers and the X-Men titles, will be joined the book as the ongoing series artist. Sheedy's pumped up to work with MacKay and bring his own flair to the team. So mark your calendars August 7th when Avengers 17 drops at your local comic shop.
This is a big month.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Nicely done, Leo.
Why? Thank you.
And Valerio Sheedy, just and it's the same. Yes, he's wrapping up Gods with Hickman. He's doing that book.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't butcher the name too bad.
So, what's next?
I believe Carrie's up.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this one is huge, and for Drew's sake, I have like 10 pages on this. I'm shortening it a lot. I mentioned to you guys before about this Kickstarter. It started on May 14th. It's James Tynan's James Tynan the Fourth, the first decade at Boom Studios, and I announced it before because there was an early bird special reward that gave you the issue 1 script book for Something Is Killing the Children if you got it on the first 48 hours. Now I'm going to tell you about all the things. We can go back towards the first shot. I was just going to explain what the... Okay, next one. Nope, other way. Okay, this is the Art of Something Is Killing the Children deluxe slipcase hardcover with the hardcover art by Werther Deladera and Miguel Muerto, and the slipcase art is by Dan Mora. In the next one, we have the Woods Deluxe Edition slipcase hardcover with the hardcover art by Michael Dialanis. And once again, the slipcase art is by Dan Mora. And the next is Memetic, the Apocalyptic Trilogy Deluxe slipcase hardcover. Hardcover art there is by Eric Donovan. And once again, slipcase art by Dan Mora. We go into the next picture. There's the Woods, Memetic, and Something Is Killing the Children Anniversary Archive Editions. Art by everybody I've already listed. We aren't going to keep going through all of that. The next one is a special 10th anniversary commemorative print by art print by Nick Robles. And then we'll go into the tiers. I'm not going to try to cover all of them, but just notice that you can go from getting one comic book up until spending $1,750. And for that one, just so you know what all you get going on, the $1,750 gives you the slipcase hardcover editions of The Art of Something Is Killing the Children, The Woods, and Memetic, the Apocalyptic Trilogy. Each slipcase has foil stamping, comes signed by Tynan and the series co-creators and artists, plus a set comes packaged in a matching red foil stamped exterior set slipcase, plus all 3 Anniversary Archive Edition comic books with matching red foil stamping and 9.8 CGC graded condition, a reader's set of all 3 Anniversary Archive Edition comic books, and the 10th Anniversary art print, as well as all of the upgrades that can go with it. There's only 50 sets of those, but it already has 22 backers going. The first day this came on, it funded in under 10 minutes to $25,000 and has gotten up to, it's at $225,000 now. What you're seeing here are special covers and things, and those are the Something Is Killing the Children script book that you got, which you can now also buy. But that was the early bird special. The Memetic trading card set with the art by Eric Donovan and Adam Gazowski. And they just threw in the House of Slaughter 25th number 25 Anniversary Archive Edition with various foil art covers by Junghyun Yoon. And they just keep going. But I sat and watched this as it was rolling, and hundreds of dollars a minute were filing the first day. It's finally kind of slowed down since then, but he has done things. He's been adjusting the tiers as they go along based on the people who are backing him, like asking like, hey, is there a way to get this? And this is the first time I've ever seen done in a Kickstarter before. The part where you can pledge without a tier that you're getting, if you pledge $1 or more, it will open up all of the different things for you to buy. If you just wanted to buy one of the things that wasn't in a package by itself, you're allowed to get add-ons to a non-physical copy. So I think that's just really cool. So far, I'm getting the script, bookmarks, and those cards.
I was going to say,
along with what I ordered. Those are the tiers that are open so far that I invested in.
I was going to say, you're one of the hundreds of dollars that contributed, aren't you? So.
Yeah, I've spent less than the average right now. People have spent about $190 per person on it, and I am below that, not terribly though. But I was just amazed at how many people are willing to like throw out $1,750 for it, and I mean, and all the extra stuff you're getting too. But it's just kind of crazy, and they keep adjusting it for us. So if you want, this is still going on for like another 23 days, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you want to get in on it, go check it out because it is all gorgeous and all of it's really worth it. Yeah, there's I'm sorry, I just fangirled all over this, so I'm kind of like I don't know where I put my notes for it, but yeah, there's still 23 days to go as of today, and it's already up to $225,000 when the funding was just for 25,000. So,
Carrie, save your cigarette for after the show. Jeez.
Well, I believe Jar Jar is up next.
Oh yes, I am.
The writer.
Starting this June, actor Josh Gad, known for his roles in Frozen and the Angry Birds movie, will make his comic book debut with The Writer, published by Dark Horse Comics, collaborating with storytellers Ben and Max Berkowitz. Excuse me. Renowned Marvel artist Ariel Olivetti and letterer Frank Chebekkovic. Gad ventures into the realm of comics. The writer intertwines elements of cultural folklore with the struggles of the creative process, offering a unique blend of fantasy and reality. Today, actually, this was last week, was final order cutoff, so you can no longer order this. Hopefully, you already have it, or you can find it on eBay if your LCS has sold out. In a trailer for the writer, voiced Gad himself, viewers get a glimpse voiced by Gad himself, viewers get a glimpse into the project's essence. Gad and the Berkowitz brothers also damn, I'm losing myself here. The narrative prominently features Jewish faith and Old Testament mysticism, exploring protagonist Stan's journey as he grapples with his faith and identity amidst threats from those who oppose him. Gad revealed that the story involves Nazis, drawing inspirations from classics like Raiders of the Lost Ark to craft a tale rich in its own unique mysticism. This perspective seldom seen in comic books, television, or film. I'm supposed to keep going because Leo's not. Oh, look at that. Leo comes in right at the time.
Look at that.
But this sounds up my alley with the strange old Jewish faith stuff and mystics.
Mysticism.
That's what I said.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You tired, Drew? You just got up.
I had to make sure you stayed on target, my boy. So
stay on target.
All right. It's all
stumbled over some words in there. But
you did. It was a good. You did a good thing. You did your mitzvah.
Well, I'm trying to get quicks for you there, Drew, so you can get some sleep. I feel bad for you, man.
Don't worry, this is my fault. I just don't sleep anymore. So when I finally do,
sleep's overrated anyway.
Leo, I'm still convinced.
Sleep.
Leo, I'm still convinced you power down just the same way Carrie does. You know, whatever. What's on the next?
You're up next, Drew.
Yes, the Kosher Mafia. Love this story. Very excited. If everybody knows me, they know I am a huge history person, and this just sounded absolutely freaking rad. So what this is, by Mad Cave Studios, is a crime series written by David Hazen and illustrated by Sammy Kivela, with colors by Ringo Award winner Ellie Wright, and letters by Simon Boland, Kosher Mafia takes place in 1936 during the lead up to World War II in Cleveland, Ohio. The story will follow a Howard Berkowitz, who is a bookkeeper for the Jewish mob, who's threatened at gunpoint by an enforcer when he tries to get the Kosher Mafia to take action against the newly founded German-American Bund, which was a domestic Nazi organization at the time. The creator or the writer has then talked about how much that the book is really more, as much as it's a living, breathing thing that he really put a lot of his heart and soul into. It's a crime thriller that's, you know, also steeped in Jewish Cleveland, where, as we know, a lot of our modern comic book industry was born. Primary example, of course, being Schuster and Siegel, who would give us Superman. He said it's about, you know, anti-Semitism, and you know, kind of overcoming that. That Mad Cave just absolutely loved his vision, and that Kivela is just a huge fan of the crime and noir comics. So it's kind of interesting seeing the Cleveland Mafia scene of the 30s to life. So Kosher Mafia issue 1 will feature a main cover by Kivela and a variant cover by Sean Martinborough, who, as we know right now, is hard at work on Red Hood Over the Hill. He's the writer there. This book will be available on our shops in apparently what is now one of the busy months of 2024, August. This will be available August 7th.
I'm going out the door in August.
We're going to be at a con in August, so yes, indeed, Jar.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this looks great. The history looks fantastic. The story, I'm like, yes, let's go. So I will definitely let you guys know how it turns out when I read it. So,
hey, isn't Feral issue 3 out tomorrow?
Maybe. Is it?
I think so. Just trying to keep up on that one for the next time we have those fellow creators in.
What's next, Mr. Pond, sir, if you please?
Next up, let's see.
It must be me, right?
No.
No.
Oh.
This is me. This
It's
is
Mr. Pond himself.
me.
Mr.
Yeah.
Pond.
So, Mr. Drew, definitely, you know, keep me honest here, because I tried to do my research for this. But okay, so we need to get ready for a high voltage adventure like no other. DC Black Label is bringing back the one and only Jenny Sparks in a brand new series that promises to be an absolute game changer. This is written by the brilliant Tom King, known for his mind-bending works like Strange Adventures, Mr. Miracle, which we absolutely love, The Human Target, and featuring the incredible artwork of Jeff Spokes. The series is set to explore the lasting impact of Jenny's time on our own. The story kicks off with a rogue captain, Adam, taking hostages, forcing Jenny to travel through time to save the day. But this is just the beginning of a thrilling journey that will delve into how the sins of the past continue to haunt us, no matter how desperately we try to move on. So for those that need a refresher on this heroine, so Jenny Sparks, she first graced the pages of Stormwatch Volume 2, number 37, back in 1996. She is a century baby. She's destined to shape humanity's fate for an entire 100 years. Throughout her adventures, she's rubbed elbows with history's biggest names. Albert Einstein, I think, was her uncle. Then she met Adolf Hitler, John Lennon. And if that wasn't impressive enough, she can also control electricity and transform into pure energy. Tom King describes the upcoming series as an epic, thrilling, mind-blowing series. And with Jeff Sparks' artwork, which King can't stop raving about, it's shaping up to be a must-read for any comic fan. To sweeten the deal, Jenny Sparks number 1 will feature 3 stunning variant covers. We haven't gotten enough of that. Covers by Gilliam March, Homer, and Spawi, in addition to the main cover by Jeff Spokes himself. So mark your calendars, August 21st, 2024, when Jenny Sparks number 1 hits comic shops everywhere.
Leo, there was only one thing that you forgot to mention, is that Jenny Sparks is also a member of the Authority, which we've seen the Authority since, quote unquote, their supposed demise with the rest of the original Wildstorm. A lot of Wildstorm characters actually are back. They've made debut premieres within the current DC universe, and we've just essentially been seeing more and more that the Authority, or at least that they're really doing their best to kind of give the Authority a second life, most likely, especially since I believe there will be a movie of Authority is on James Gunn's docket. So they're definitely going to be trying to bring that back. So we're definitely seeing a lot more of these characters from the Authority. We saw the Drummer, or at least
Drummer,
Drummer is showed up in the Outsiders. Zealot from Wildstorm showed up, and Grifter, Cole Cash, showed up in Batman at one point. He's doing his own thing. So Wildstorm is definitely getting a second life at DC. So we're just seeing more and more of the slow return of Authority and other Wildstorm characters in DC. So it's very interesting to see them kind of find that second wind.
So totally.
Yep.
I need to read more about them. I don't know much about the Authority.
Don't worry, I can help you there, buddy. All right, what's next?
Next up, I believe Carrie's up.
Yeah.
Yes. Yet another Marvel hero is celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. We have got Iron Fist. He was originally created by Roy Thomas and Gil Kane in May of 1974, and as Danny Rand first hit the scene in Marvel Premiere number 15. Danny received his powers in Kunlun, a mystical city that appears and disappears on Earth, where he was trained by Late Kung and defeated the immortal dragon Shu Lang after his parents, who had been there before, died going back on an expedition to the city. As far as his powers go, he is an expert martial artist with the power to focus his chi energy to enhance his natural abilities to superhuman levels. And the Iron Fist legacy itself goes back approximately 10 million years. Over the years, he has been portrayed by many creators, including writers Len Wein, Doug Mensch, Tony Isabella, Chris Claremont, Christopher Priest, Dan Jurgens, James Feldier, Jay Fairber, Jim Mullany, Ed Brubaker, and Matt Fraction jointly there, Dwayne Swerzinski and pencilers Arvell Jones, Pat Broderick, Robert Brown, Jackson Guise, Jamal Eigel, Kevin Lau, Travel Foreman, David Aja, and Carl Andrews, Larry Hama, and John Byrne each did the writing and the art for him. And currently, it is no longer Danny Rand. Lynn Lai has taken over the place of Iron Fist as the latest incarnation, and he is being written by Alyssa Wong with art by Michael YG. There's so much to tell. They've just given us a synopsis of what's going to be in each of the stories in the 50th anniversary one shot. Visionary Iron Fist scribe Chris Claremont teams up with the artist Lan Medina for a classic tale set during the Iron Fist's early years and co-starring Wolverine. Alyssa Wong, the writer behind today's Iron Fist, brings you the next chapter of Lynn Lai's saga alongside artist Vaughn Randall, writers Justina Ireland and artist Elena Casagrande send Iron Fist on a mission where he joins forces with one of his longtime allies, the Daughters of the Dragon. Writer Frank Thierry and artist Ty Templeton stories sees Iron Fist send out the call to his old teammates, Heroes for Hire, and writer Jason Liu and artist Will Portacio spotlight what the future may hold for Danny Rand. And those covers that we were seeing, the first one that came up was the regular cover by Alan Davis. The next variant cover is by Kevin Eastman. And the final one is the Hidden Gem variant cover by Howard Chaykin. And these all go on sale on August 14th.
Hey, good.
Sorry for the flood of names,
Wow.
That's a
but
lot of names. Yeah.
That was a lot.
I had
Karen.
to hunt them down. I did my research though. That one took me like half an hour to find all the different people.
What
I was proud
would
of
you
me
do
for that.
the other 23 and a half hours?
The rest of the pictures.
Oh, dear God, there wasn't.
And summarizing the James Tynan Kickstarter, that took at least like 2.
Just good job, Gary. Good job. Move on. What's next?
Okay, I'm done.
Gary.
There's still more.
I believe we got 2 more stories left.
Yep.
I believe Jar Jar is next, and then we'll end it with Drew.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ghost Machine.
Oh, Ghost Machine. In a departure from the norm in the comics industry, Ghost Machine has taken a bold step by making a colorist and a letterer equity partners, securing their exclusive commitment to the company for future projects. Brad Anderson, the colorist, and Rob Leigh, the letterer, have been integral to Ghost Machine's initial titles and will now have a vested interest in the company's future endeavors. Anderson and Leigh join a roster of 11 creators who have already pledged their exclusivity to Ghost Machine as equity partners. This esteemed group includes names like Jason Fabok, Gary Frank, Brian Hitch, Jeff Johns, Lamont McGee, Francis Manipul, Brad Meltzer, Ivan Rice, Peter Snedberg,
It's Nigel
and
Byrne.
Peter Tomasi, and Madel Zoot. That looks good. In a joint statement accompanying the announcement, the creators behind Ghost Machine emphasized the often overlooked contributions of colorists and letterers to the comics industry. They highlighted the vital role these professionals play in maintaining the quality, consistency, and longevity of comic titles and characters. Ghost Machine made its debut at New York Comic Con last October and released its first issue, Ghost Machine #1, in January. The company swiftly followed up with the launch of 3 series, Geiger, Redcoat, and Rook Exodus. In April, all of which quickly sold out and necessitated second printings. Publishers are published under Image Comics. Ghost Machine is making waves as creator-owned and operated enterprise committed to pushing boundaries in the comic industry. But that's pretty dope.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah.
And good for Rob Leigh. I mean, we had him back on in January, and I think around that time, Ghost Machine was still, I don't want to say getting their legs, but they were,
We weren't able to say at that time that he was going to be exclusive, did we?
No, I
he
think
had to finish.
he had to finish his commitment, right, Carrie?
Yeah, he had a couple of things he needed to finish up before he could be completely Ghost Machine. So,
Yeah,
No.
and there are a couple of other people like that.
indeed. And
That's
from what I, there definitely talks of more people joining Ghost Machine in the future. So that's going to be a really interesting shift. I mean, they've got some really heavy hitters
Mhm.
already.
Jeff Johns. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Gary Frank, Jason Fabok. Yeah.
oh my God.
All of them, especially. I mean, hell, Brad Meltzer. Come on, man. He's done some great stuff for DC, especially. Yeah, but you know what? Listen, I've thoroughly been enjoying stuff I've been seeing from Ghost Machine. It's been, even things I'm like, I don't know if I'll buy this, but like I've been thoroughly enjoying the creativity and the stories that have been pumping out of them. Like they've all just been some top tier talent. So honestly, I say, Viva la Ghost Machine.
Viva la Ghost Machine.
Oh yeah.
All right. So let's close this up because we're almost at the 2-hour mark, which, goddamn, Garrett, you're so chippy. Yeah. So, this is a kind of a fun fact kind of news. So I'll do my best to keep this brief because I think I'm on like 10% power. So Marvel released that while Ultimate Spider-Man by Jonathan Hickman and artist Marco Cicchetto is their first big hit of 2024, it is revealed that Hickman was not the Marvel's original choice to write this. even though he did the 2023 prequel series Ultimate Invasion with Brian Hitch, Marvel's first choice was actually somebody Leo is a big fan of. Chip Zdarsky, aka the person
Wake up, Drew.
I'm sorry.
Next picture.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I got distracted. My apologies.
Oh, no
Chip
worries.
admitted that he was actually the person who was the first approach to do it, and he turned it down, which he admitted, because that he just felt that he was going to be too busy doing both Batman and Spider-Man. As much as that he had a great time doing Spider-Man Life Story, Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man. Yeah, he said he was given the outline for essentially what they were planning on doing, and he said, "Wow, this is a great story. I don't want to write it. I want to read it." You know, and that was just essentially that. He just absolutely loved it, and he turned it down, and he said he doesn't really feel much regret. He said it's kind of become an ongoing thing. Kind of like an ongoing thing that he talks about with Hickman every so often, and Hickman would call him and it's like, "Thank you so much. I'm having so much fun." You know, and he said, you know, he's not sharing this story to steal anyone's thunder, but it's part of his self-effacing and self-deprecating style that he likes to mention in public. Things he turned down went on to be successes, but he never, but he said he never mentions things he turned down that ended up being failures. It's just harmful to creators and makes him sound like he's this wunder kid, even though he's really not. He's just a guy who, he could have done it, but he chose not to, and life goes on. I mean, he's, look at him. He's still writing Batman. He's still Carrie. He's doing Avengers Twilight right now, which is, if I'm correct, Carrie, I believe is going to wrap up soon. The man did a great run of Daredevil previously. I mean, it's Chip Zdarsky. I mean,
he'll be back.
Oh yeah.
He's very much, he's in right now.
Yes, so, as the kids would say.
It's just, like I said, it's just really interesting knowing that there could have been someone else. So it's kind of like, but we've seen this. I mean, we've seen this with other creators, and yeah, it's just pretty cool. So, yeah. So right. So fun fact, could have happened. It didn't. Chip's still awesome. Jonathan Hickman's still awesome. And everybody, I can't wait to tell you guys more about the plans that the Ultimate Universe is going to have for their titles in August next week. Going to be super fucking lit. Cannot wait.
Very cool.
Also, Leo, before we go, I actually want to give us a shout out for our guests for next week.
Yeah, and just real quick before we do that, I believe, Carrie, you mentioned, so Eisner nominations are out. We'll talk about them next week. And I'm very excited because Transformers is looking good. What's that?
Vote for Liam Sharp. He's in for, oh, fuck, I forget the name, but vote for him.
Okay.
Oh, and Kill Your Darlings is out there, as is Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, which is another one of my favorites. And Local Man by Tim Seeley and Tony Fleeks. There's a lot of great stuff up this year.
And Tony Fleeks.
Yeah. But another great thing is who we have next week.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We are excited because next week we're going to have we're not going to have one, but two creators joining us. We will have writer Cullen Bunn and artist Tyler Crook. They're going to be on discussing their project that they did a few years back that just keeps on coming. Harrow County. They're also going to be discussing their own projects. So we're going to be a little bit of Harrow County. We're going to read some of their other work. It is going to be awesome. I know this because as we speak, Carrie is squeeing so much. See, Carrie, that would have been the best time for us, whatever. So tune in next week for 2 creators. All of us here together for that should be awesome.
Woohoo!
Big week.
Yeah, and with that, we'll wrap things up. I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. You know how to find me, but more importantly, follow these awesome people and go check out our YouTube stuff. It's been blowing up lately. So, yeah, head on over there, subscribe, be one of the many people that are subscribing to our YouTube, and we'll throw it on over to Carrie.
Hey, everybody. Yes, I am so excited for next week. I mean, not that I haven't loved all of our guests, but this is a big, I'm going to fangirl out pretty goddamn hard. So just be ready for that. If you want to find me, go over, look at Carrie Sanders on Facebook. And if you see a crow's an avatar, that's me. You can find my writing page there. You will also find all of my stuff with the Owllight Network, who I am also on with. I am there every Sunday, every other Monday, every other Thursday, and sometimes on a couple other nights as well. We do some great shows about storytelling and such. And that's about all with me. I'm just going to be reading everything that Colin Bunn has ever written so that I can be sure to ask him, to write out a list of questions for Drew to ask him while I drool next week. So, yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Jar Jar.
Hey, I'm Jeremy Courtney on Facebook. Come be a friend of mine. See, let's be friends. It says so down at the bottom of the screen. Beyond that,
can't we be friends?
Why can't we be friends? Yeah, why can't we?
I'll be your friend.
It would be sweet. It would be swell. We could walk hand in hand. But also check me out tomorrow night on Still Token. We're interviewing Jeremy Roberts, great actor, does a lot of character. Been in probably something you've seen. And other than that, I think I'm all done. Time to talk to Drew.
Oh, you were great in last week's SNL also, by the way.
What?
Sorry, bad joke. They did
I didn't watch SNL.
They
did they?
The Scooby-Doo. Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah.
I'll have to go back and watch. I'm sorry, Leo. I let your joke fall to the floor.
Oh, that's okay. It was a bad joke anyway. Drew.
Monsieur Blancat.
Hey, everybody. I'm Drew, and I'm really fucking tired. But I still find the energy to come here on the show every Tuesday. And, yeah, just, you know how to find me. That's my Insta below. My name's Drew Malo on Facebook. You could send a friend request. There's a 45% chance I'll say okay. Everything else, I don't know. Just roll the dice for it. Thank you for joining us. You're all great. And remember to spray and neuter your pets.
Yeah.
With that, we'll catch you later. Bye.
Good night, everybody. Bye.